Hello everybody out there, this is Seto Kaiba from your Yu-Gi-Oh chat channel, and today I'm going to profile for you guys my Herald of Perfection deck. This is a Herald of Perfection deck slash agent deck. It runs agents and Herald Perfection as an engine. I fixed it up and tweaked it since I last profiled it about when I first got the deck from my friend back in, I think it was February earlier this year. Me and him went over, changed some cards around, did some different things. I may add another Manji of 10,000 hands, but I'll go over the deck now and explain to you my card choices. It's probably a different Herald of Perfection deck than what you're used to seeing, and it's definitely different than the one that Vexicus profiled a couple weeks, I think it was a day or two ago. But it actually performs fairly well. It can get out from under Ophion. It does have Ophion outs and stuff like that. But let's start with the deck, okay? So first off, you're going to run 3 Herald of Perfections. He's one of your boss monsters of this deck. This deck has many boss monsters, but he is your negator. Next card, you run 3 Orange of Lights. This is your out to Ophion. One of your outs to Ophion actually, and one of your outs against big monsters. You discard this with another fairy, which you pretty much run all fairies, and you can destroy your opponent's monster when they activate their effect. 2 Manjis. Like I said in the intro, I may add a third. I'm pretty much sure I'm going to consider adding a third one because this deck doesn't want to run all ritual monsters because it does run an agent engine, but it runs 2 Manji seems to run well. I'm going to try 3 out because it seems to be working okay, a little bit better. Now I'm going to show you some other cards here. Pretty much these are your other monsters you can use with the deck. I'll explain them each one. Thesis, Goddess of Light. This is your draw engine. You have, which I'll show you quickly, Valhalla the Fallen. This deck revolves around Valhalla, so I'll keep referring to this card. Pretty much what it states is that as long as you have no monsters on the field, you can special summon one fairy monster from your hand. So you have Archlord Christia. I could special summon Archlord Christia without using its effect. Because I like special summoning and I use Valhalla, I prefer not to run 2. Athena. This is my Red Eyes Darkness Metal End Dragon, pretty much. If she's on the field, she's a 26 beat stick, okay? But as long as she's in the field, I can special summon from the graveyard once per turn by discarding 1 fairy card. I can special summon 1 fairy monster from the graveyard in attack or defense position. Plus, for every time a fairy monster is special summoned, I inflict 600 damage to my opponent. Good card. People have... It's been like on the verge of coming out and then going back in, but at the end of the day, she's going to stay in there because she's actually won me more duels than not. And Thesis, Goddess of Light. This card is really awesome. I used to run 2, I took it out for 1. Because if I go Valhalla, Thesis, or Goddess of Light, what I can do is this. I can have an infinite draw engine. For every fairy monster I draw, I reveal it to my opponent, I get to draw another card, and another card, and another card, until I don't draw a fairy card. I've had literally in hand sometimes, at the end of a turn, I've had 13, 14 cards. It's ridiculous. Okay, next card. 2 Master Hyperions, because you're running the Agent engine. Not 3, 2 is good enough, but he's a great card, and you may say, well, this deck gets affected by Ophion. Not so much. It can actually fight Ophion off very well, but awesome card in general. 2 Agent of Creations. The Gachi play in this deck, and I can't wait for the Herald Exceed card that's coming out in Judgment of the Light, but this Agent of Creation cards, these cards do good. I get 2,000 beat stick, I can Exceed with him, I can Synchro with him. There's just so many different things I can do because of Valhalla on the field. 2 Agents of Jupiter. Simple, good card in general for agents. This card's great, especially with Creation. If I have Valhalla on the field, I special summon Agent of Creation, make the shiny balls, then I normal summon Agent of Earth, I make Gachi, I make then Catastor, I synchro summon for Catastor, and then I can just ram my opponent down to the throat. So, I mean, there's so many different plays you can do. But Agent of Creation, you run 2 of them, excuse me. You run 2, sorry. But you run 2 of them, and it works fairly well. I love I love how this deck works with that card. And this is Heraldic, Heraldic, because Heraldic searches out Valhalla the Fallen. This deck revolves around Valhalla the Fallen, the spell card. But this card does good. It searches out that card, and it can be used for fodder for, other stuff. And if you got Gachi becomes a 700 attack monster. So it works well. One Marsh Mulan for stalling. One Honest. Self-explanatory. Now we're going to go to the ritual parts. You run your Gakis because you do run advanced ritual art. The great thing about Valhalla the Fallen is this just doesn't become a dead card in hand. The problem I hear a lot from people that run Herald is that if they run advanced ritual art, is that the problem they run into is that this card is always dead in hand. With Valhalla the Fallen, I can special summon her in defense mode for a 2000 defender. I can use her as an 18 attack stick, beat stick. I can also use her sometimes if necessary. If Gachi's on the field and I get her out, I can make her a 22, 23 beat stick. Very versatile card. Actually, because of Valhalla, it becomes more versatile and not just a dead card for Herald. 3 shiny balls for creation. 3 Valhalla the Fallen. Try it out with this build. Don't discredit this build because this build actually works and does have outs to Ophion. I'll explain in a second. 2 advanced ritual arts. I hope it comes back to 3. Maybe it will. 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Book of Moon, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Heavy Storm. I took out, so I could run the advanced ritual art engine, I took out the 2 MSTs, but I may put them back in, and then I may not put them back in, but I prefer the advanced ritual art, and that's why I may run Manji at 3. So I just run the heavy now. Monster Reborn, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, staple cards. Creature Swap is awesome. You get a shiny ball, you get a creation of Earth, you use its effect, then you go Creature Swap for their card. Dawn of Herald, because until Advanced Ritual Art perhaps comes back to 3, we're just going to do this. 1 Mirror Force, good card, 1 Compulsory, and 1 Bottomless. If I'm going against, I like the mass removal, so that's why I run Mirror Force. If I'm going against an Ophion player, I switched out for another Compulsory. But these are outs to Ophion. Another great trick is if you run it against a rogue deck, like a burn deck, or a guy that runs a lot of traps, switch these guys out for Royal Decree. That's why there's 3 traps in here. The reason there's 3 traps is because I can switch these 3 guys out right away for Royal Decree. Extra deck, I sold my Catastro a while back, like if you know my channel. So I can't wait for it to come back out in the tin. So let's go over the extra deck for right now. Iron Chain Dragon, Vice Stroke, Scratch Dragon Archfiend, Scrap Dragon, Gaia Force of Earth, Flame for Her, Eucrazil comes in handy, Pappy comes in handy, Heroic Champion comes in handy, Utopia comes in handy, Magical Android actually comes in handy, and Gachi. That's the extra deck. I know it's gonna get better, but I prefer it. This deck actually works good, and Herald of Perfection has got a place in my heart, actually. Great card in general, and I can't wait for the Exceed version to come out so I can use it with Agent of Creation. But so let's tell everybody, hope you like that deck. Try it out before you discredit it, because it actually works out very well against most decks out there. Main meta decks does good. The only deck that's going to have problems against is Ophion, but that's to be expected because Ophion does what Ophion does. But besides that, it works very good against other decks, and I'm probably going to add another Manji here shortly. But till next time, everybody, fight the main meta, have fun out there, good luck dueling to y'all, Seto Kaiba, out.